Howdy, welcome to BanjoBenClark.com. I am Banjo Ben, your host here on the website that teaches you how to play banjo. Banjo Ben. Guitar, but also mandolin. This is Mandolin Week. We're doing a build-a-break lesson for Will the Circle Be Unbroken? So that's 3 lessons. If you've never watched my build-a-break series approach before, what we do is we start out with more of a basic melody. And this basic melody, because the melody moves so slow, it kind of has some fillers in it starting out. But then we're going to take that same basic melody and do what I call beef it up. And we're just going to look at how to make that melody line more interesting, add some harmonies, cross-picking, get up the neck a little bit. But then on the third solo, we're going to kind of turn loose, maybe depart from the melody a little bit. Watch out, and play some of those licks that make your legs shake. I don't know what I mean by that. It just happens. I play it, and then all of a sudden my leg kind of starts shaking. I don't know. Anyway, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook here in a moment, I'll ask you to come over to the website. You can join as a Gold Peak member, have access to this 30-minute lesson, get the tabs exactly as I played it. Also 3 speeds of MP3 rhythm tracks that you can practice along. So let's jump right into this basic melody. Will the Circle Be Unbroken? Key of G on mandolin. Let's go! We're going to learn 3 solos to Will the Circle Be Unbroken. We're going to do it in the key of G here. And this is the build-a-break format, where we're going to start with more of a basic melody, and then we're going to take that same basic melody and I'm going to show you how to beef it up a little bit. We're not going to get too far away from that basic melody. But then for the 3rd solo, at least on this particular build-a-break lesson, we're going to get more improvisational, you might say, get outside the melody a little bit more, increase the difficulty a little bit more. We're going to go up an octave and work some of those notes. It's a lot of fun, but the cool thing about these build-a-break lessons is that whether you're just beginning or you're an advanced player, I think there's something to gain there. Now let's go ahead and throw up the first line of tab. You'll notice the little notes in the squares. Those are your melody notes for the most part. Now, of course, this song, like many songs, is sung in a lot of different ways. So you might find some singers, will the circle, and really push that, will the circle. And then some people might sing it more squarely. Will the circle be unbroken instead of be unbroken. So it's going to be kind of up to your interpretation as to what is the true basic melody. But I'm going to give it to you here in a pretty straight ahead fashion that I think most people could agree with. Now we're going to come in on the 2nd beat there. Okay, we're in 4/4 time. We're coming in on the 2nd beat on the open D string. And I want you to pay attention to the pick strokes, if I can get in tune, as we go through this. You know, the down arrows are down strokes, up arrows are up strokes. We're coming with these quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And the melody note, will the circle, it's just hanging out there. So how do we present that on the mandolin without just playing these big long half notes? Will the circle, that would be okay, but what we're going to do is fill them in with 8th notes. And we don't want to just do straight 8th notes, will the circle. You could, but we're going to vary it up just a little bit. We want to keep it simple, but also keep it interesting. So we're going to do and measure what's labeled measure 3. It's the 2nd measure that you see there. You'll notice that we're going to do 4 8th notes and then land on the 3rd beat on a quarter note. Will the circle, and then we're going to keep filling that space into the measure 4. Then go ahead and jump up, be unbroken. Now when we get to measure 5, I'm adding some filler notes already. And admittedly on this one, even though we're calling it the basic melody, I'm already going to add a few filler notes just to make it a bit more interesting, since the melody is a slower moving melody. Now in the 2nd half of measure 5, I'm going to start on the 1st fret and then slide up with my index finger, but I'm going to pick all of those notes. And when I'm just kind of sliding into that, just like you would vocally, broken. And then just a little melodic lick on the end of measure 6. So let's play this pretty slowly. We'll do it much slower together later on in the video lesson. 1, 2, 3, 4. So all that's pretty straight ahead. Everything's very linear so far. Now as we move in to measure 7, the melody note's going to hang out for a long time. By and by, by and by. Okay, so it's going to hang out for 6 beats really, and we've changed chords now. So our melody note's here, but we're over a C chord. So what I'm going to think, and we'll get into more of this later as we look at when we beef it up, what I'm thinking is, how can I make this identify more as being a C chord? So I'm just going to grab a C note on the string above it, that 3rd fret, and just begin to play it with it. So we're going to play some double stops here in measure 7. And And we want to try to play through both sets of strings going down and then also coming up. Get a little bit of this rotation with our wrist. We'll come down and land on that melody note 9. And then that melody note's hanging out too, so we're just playing kind of a little filler lick. You could just call this a little G lick here in the end of measure 9. Then we're going into the second half of the melody. So let me play 7 through 10 for you. Now we're going to see a little bit of repeating here, but in measure 11, we're going to start on the second fret there, and again, that's to kind of mimic what a vocal lick might do 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 boom. Then we're going to climb up, just right up the scale. Land there for measure 13. That's another little just lick to get us back down to this melody note. So let me play this line for you. So if we just isolated the melody notes, here's what it would sound like. Okay, so if you were to sing it, that would be very, very close to what you would. Now, they may be a little bit out of place according to how you'd sing it, but again, we're just connecting the notes in between with scale licks. We're sticking right inside that G major scale. Nothing crazy yet. Now, as we get to 15, the melody, boom, bum, 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 bum. There's our melody. Bum, 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 bum. And again, I'm just going to find melodic ways to connect them. And then to end it, I'll play this line for you. Okay, so that would be the solo for this. So there's your chorus or your verse. It's very similar, the melody lines for both. And the chord progression is the same, so it's going to work there. So I encourage you to get familiar with that. Learn that, and now that we have that under our belt, we can kind of hear it. We're going to take the exact same melody and just beef it up a little bit, add harmonies, add double stops, add some blues notes. See what we would do after we get a grasp of the melody of a basic tune. How would we begin to beef that up to create a solo of our own?